The tech sector overall is weighing down the stock market, though, since the Fed warned of more rate hikes to come. For more on this and much more, we want to bring in Doug Clinton. He is managing partner and co-founder of Deepwater Asset Management. And thanks for being here today. Doug, what do you think of this investment that Amazon's making in AI?
It's a page right out of the OpenAI-Microsoft playbook for Amazon. I think they saw that they're probably a little bit behind in terms of the adventure that Microsoft has been on, building OpenAI's technology into products like Azure. We saw in this release with Amazon and Anthropic, they will bring this to AWS customers. I think that's the biggest part of the announcement to pay attention to. So they're trying to compete directly with everything that Microsoft and OpenAI have built so far as sort of leaders in this AI infrastructure space. And I think if you sort of broaden out and look at the foundational model companies, there's really 5 that matter. It's OpenAI, it's Google, Facebook with Llama. Anthropic is one of those companies. And so Amazon's making a big bet that as one of the top 5, it will be able to maintain that position and continue to build one of the leading AI products on the market.
Even though Anthropic already has other investments from companies like Google, is Amazon going to be able to control it at this point? It's a minority ownership stake.
I don't think it's about control so much as think of Google and their balance sheet over $100 billion. Facebook, Meta, same thing. They have so much in terms of resources. These startups like OpenAI, who's taken a lot of funding, over $10 billion from Microsoft, now Anthropic with $4 billion. They have a war chest where I think they can continue to be competitive. So from Amazon's perspective, I think it's more about the partnership and probably less about control and saying, look, we don't have a product that we could compete directly with OpenAI with. And instead, we'll go and we'll get a great partnership with one of the leaders in the market and make sure they have the capital that they need to continue to be competitive.
You get into these partnerships and it makes you start wondering about things. How secure that is down the road. First of all, you said they were a little behind. Can they catch up? And if so, how long will it take? And I'm talking about Amazon from this perspective, the partnerships and trying to figure out what regulators in the United States think about all of these things right now, especially when you consider what's happening with Google and the money that they pay to Apple right now for the partnership to make sure that they are the primary search function on the phones. I mean, it gets convoluted no matter how you look at it. I can guess that they would look at this and say maybe we wouldn't be able to buy it outright, but a partnership might be a questionable deal too.
It may be, I think, in terms of time, it's probably a 6 to 9 month thing in terms of seeing them actually have any 6 to 9 months. Yeah, for meaningful product and maybe starting to see some actual revenues from customers and getting a sense for how competitive are they really with what Microsoft and OpenAI have kind of already launched. From an anti-competitive perspective, all these companies, the entire Mag 7 landscape is under a very fine microscope. So I think anything that they do of size and scale like this will certainly be scrutinized. I think because it's a partnership, because it's a minority stake investment, it's hard to see what the government would take issue with there, but you never know.
Does AI and the excitement surrounding that overall protect technology stocks from declines, especially with what we've been hearing from the Fed about maybe more rate hikes to come?
I think interest rates, the 10-year at 4.4, it sort of puts a cap on the tech sector, in our view, over the shorter term. It's hard to see how the rally that we've had year to date, which has been incredible. I mean, the Mag 7 have carried the indices. It's hard to see how that rally continues with rates where they are. I think investors really need to look to specific stocks that have catalysts to try to outperform. Talking about AI here, Google, we think, is one of those stocks within the Mag 7 category that does have a catalyst. They will be launching their new AI model, Gemini, sometime later this year. Gemini is said to be as good or better than GPT-4, which is OpenAI's core model. So I think Google has this reputation of also being behind Microsoft and OpenAI. If Gemini is as good as people think it could be, that could shift the narrative and people might start looking at Google as a real player, maybe even the ultimate winner of the AI wars.
What about Amazon with this partnership that it just announced today?
I think it's great for AWS. I don't think it really puts them in the same category as really Google and OpenAI as the two that are probably fighting for model supremacy, really delivering the best product to consumers and ultimately developers who will build products to consumers. I think the AWS and the Anthropic deal with Amazon is more about making Amazon's products more intelligent. So your shopping experience will probably get much more intelligent from here, and building it into their cloud infrastructure services. So not going direct into search and information discovery and things like that.